All right. Booyah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining this fine morning. Mega Momentum Morning Calls. Mr. Dizette, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going?
Good. It's good. We got a special guest today, Alison. How are you?
We do.
I'm wonderful. How are you, gentlemen?
Oh, super good. It's
Great.
What is it?
Second coffee, different cup, but second.
I'm learning.
Wait, whoa!
Oh,
Wait, keep going. Gee. Oh man!
is that your first cup, Dustin, or your second?
You might have to start doing bathroom breaks with that big jug.
I know, right? Jeez, I need a straw. This son of a bitch big. Yeah.
Allison, where's your coffee? Come on, you have to be on this call. You gotta have a coffee. Show your coffee. Oh man, what the hell is that?
I don't drink coffee. I love the smell of it. I just don't drink it. I
What
like
is
the taste.
wrong with people? Like the other day, I posted that, and people started posting shots of Red Bull. Like, who the hell drinks Red Bull in the morning? What is wrong with you people?
I got a buddy of mine. He drinks like 6 Red Bulls every single morning.
Man,
dude. I mean, dude.
Well, those that y'all know me, I've made a transition in the health space, I guess you'd say, and so I quit drinking all soft drinks because they're just. I mean, we'll get into that later, but it's even like the coffee I drink now. I'm finally foo-foo enough to where it's all organic, all mold free, all this crazy cool clean coffee. So. We'll see.
Wow. You're going to have to take you out behind the barn and shoot you once you get into the mushroom company.
Right?
I've been knowing Alison long enough, guys, so she's seen the very unhealthy version of me and the transition into the somewhat healthy version of me.
That's an important thing to talk about, right? Because
absolutely.
We're in this business. We grind like crazy people. We work like crazy hours until you've actually been able to apply leverage to your business and get some of your time back after a couple of years with a buyer agent or a couple of agents on your team and stuff like that. You're beating your face against your business, and your body is one of the things that you can really let go as you're like just working your butt off just to get your career off the ground. You know what I mean?
It happened to me, man. I'll tell you. I'm only like 5'6.5", barely 5'7", and man, I got to almost 240 pounds. I mean, it was brutal, and it happened over a long duration. And I'll tell you, I used to be that person. I used to, I've always used to drink a ton of water, and I used to work out once or twice a day. And I'll tell you, from my transition to real estate to from where I was doing before to real estate. It just got, there was probably years where I never lifted a weight or did a damn thing. And it will. I mean, this guys, if one thing you learn from what we're doing with this, we have all these type of conversations, and a big part of what Dustin's vision that we have for this thing is the mega morning. It is mindfulness in your body and your soul. So we're going to talk about that a lot, but it is so important. I mean, you will grind, and you don't even realize how bad you affect your health. You wake up one day and you'll be like me, like, holy shit, how did I gain all this weight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will tell you, I only have one of these. This is my caffeine. Okay, and the rest is water. After that, yeah.
Yep. And you've been in the business for what? What'd you say? It was 5 or 6 years. You've been in the business now, Alison?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah.
6 years.
And you're crushing it. Like, coaching agents. Like Anthony and I both coach agents, and coaching agents to the point where they're doing 40, 50 deals every single year consistently. That's our goal. That's always our goal. And there's a small segment of the market that actually can achieve that or does achieve that, right? And 50 deals a year, like I've done that many times, but man, it's I would say probably you can get about 10-15% of people to the 40, 50 deals, and I really want to dig into that a little bit because there's a lot of people out there that are doing. The average deal is like 6 deals a year, right? And especially with COVID pandemic and sellers market and the crazy sellers market, that's some of them are actually increasing their deals just because they've captured a huge amount of market share. They've built their business right with referrals and all that kind of stuff coming in. But the people that didn't have that strong business to begin with before the pandemic hit and the lockdowns and all that, they're suffering. They're seeing a 30% decrease in their sales. So I wanted to kind of dig into that a little bit. We can segue back into how you started and keeping fit and all that kind of stuff because we started to talk about that. But I was really interested to hear your story a little bit about what kinds of things did you do in your first 3, 4, 5 years to get to the point where you're consistently doing 40, 50 deals? Because even the guys out there are doing like 15 deals, 20 deals are still, I could do more because they can fit more in their schedule. Like there's no reason why you can't do 50 deals a year. Like that's not It's hard, but it's not impossible. So
Right.
I want to talk about that a little bit.
Well, I want to kind of jump back to, the people that you surround yourself with. When I first was thinking about getting my license, I was talking to two dear friends of mine that were both agents. And I said, what can I realistically do as a brand new agent? And one of my friends said, you can look at probably about 6 deals a year. And then another agent said, you can do as much as you want to do.
Yes.
So, of course, who did I go to? I went to, you can do as much as you want to do.
Yeah.
Because, 6 deals a year was not going to cut it for me.
No.
Because I went from corporate America, making almost 6 figures and company car and great benefits and all this. And I was like, just no, that's not an option. So, Anthony's always taught me mindset, and I still struggle with mindset. But I knew that six deals a year was not going to do it. But I also started my business being taught to buy leads. Okay. That's what my coach or mentor, team member, did. So that's what I did. I saw the success he did, so I did it too. I thought that was the way, and I do really well with it. But my leads are my paid for leads are strictly through Zillow right now. Okay, and with Zillow making the changes that they're making, I can see that I am really kind of kept captive right now. I want to break away from that. And Anthony and I have had conversation after conversation with it. And I feel captive because I can't just cut it totally off. So, I'm trying to get back to my sphere in my past clients. So it's just working hard. And I don't want to say unfortunately that I bought leads because it worked for me. And you got to answer your phone. You got to miss the birthday parties. You got to write an offer at 10:30 at night. You got to answer your call whenever it comes through. If that's the way I started my business. So it's kind of hard to change it at that point.
Wow, there's so many things we can talk about there.
I know, right?
So many things. Like, oh my God, it's corny.
It's great because I like Alison, your vulnerability in this, and we talk about that a lot. It's part of our coaching. We talk about the power of vulnerability. But for you to be such a successful agent, and we mentioned that on one of the last calls where I kept saying, I think it was our last one on Tuesday, where I said I failed, and people look at us like we're crazy. Like, oh, Alison, you're crazy. You're doing, 10, 12, 15 million in volume, 40, 50 transactions. The sun should be shining. The angels should be singing. And it does when we look at our business, because as successful, really high-driven, performing entrepreneurs, is it ever good enough?
And I'm happy with my business.
Right.
I have a great life. I don't want for anything,
right.
But it's not the way that I want my business to run, if that makes sense.
So this is interesting because how you got there, surround yourself with the right people, you bought some leads, you're working on your sphere, all that kind of stuff. But it sounds to me like you're kind of in a transitionary space right now where you've got that consistent production, but it's time to create more systems, efficiency, and processes in your business so that you can start getting your time back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because missing the kids' birthdays, things like that, that's something that I don't think that any of us really have to do. And it's a sacrifice that a lot of us make, especially early on in our career, especially as we're hustling and grinding to build our reputation, our business. One point that I did want to make, and for all of you guys listening right now, from everything that I've seen across the board, and I've personally experienced this in my own real estate team this past year and this past 12 months, is that Sphere wins, hands down. Sphere wins. Referral business coming in, Sphere has won hands down over and over again. The people that have built a strong Sphere before the pandemic hit, before all this crap happened, the market went crazy, the seller's market, all that kind of stuff. They're the ones that actually are in the market, and they're selling more homes than they ever sold before. While everybody else is like, where the hell is the business?
Right.
Okay, I can't stress that enough. This is like legitimately right now in the thick of it, and the people that had a Sphere before they entered this strange market, they're crushing it. They're absolutely crushing it. And the people that were buying leads, they're sitting there and they're spending more and more and more time and money on conversions. It's becoming less and less profitable and a lower return on time. So that's just something that I just wanted to share with everybody. Case in point, Alison, like you're going through the purchasing leads through Zillow, and now you're going to start working on your Sphere. And I think that's incredibly wise. It's a long play. It takes effort and time to really build that up. But man, it works. And it's a safety margin for a really tough market.
Right.
One thing I wrote down, Alison, when you was saying that, when you said you have to do all this, I mean, the question I wrote down in my notes just now is, do you have to do that? Yeah. Okay. And that's where, like, a lot of real estate agents, guys, it's like, I mean, agents out there listening right now, you guys all see it. I see it. I work with a lot of agents. I coach a lot of agents up, and they all kind of tell me the same thing. Like, I tell you, I cringe when I hear those agents tell their clients they're available 24/7.
Yeah.
And I mean, who as an agent hasn't said that? I mean, I have too. And the thing is, you don't have to write offers late at night. You don't have to answer that person's phone call, at late at night or whatever it may be. You choose to run your schedule. And the way I compare this with my coaching clients is that, do you ever call your doctor at 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night? Do you? Do you ever really call your doctor and say, I need you to do this right now? And no, you don't. But what happens when you meet with a doctor, they say, I learned years ago, prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. Okay. And that's where we go wrong, especially the buyer. We'll talk about why people are struggling with buyers, because they instantly, phone rings, I want to see a house, great, go, boom. Okay. And it's like, you don't even know what this person wants. You don't know what they need. And not to say all agents do this, but I'll tell you, when we were running our team efficiently, and we worked with buyers, who doesn't work with buyers? But guys, it was a buyer's consult. I mean, it was an in-depth buyer. And if that person couldn't sit down with us and talk about it, then we just really wouldn't work with them. And it's a case-by-case basis. I mean, you kind of see that. But I mean, I'll tell you, it's so huge when they walk into that environment. I used to make them come meet me at the office. They would literally have to come park in my office spot when we had an office, come into the meeting room, sit down with me, and have a very formal consultation. Yep. And I'll tell you, that's an interesting part where I see we're all going so tech savvy, so internet driven, so leads, run. We're not doing the work up front. We're not diagnosing them properly. And
if you are in a heavy seller's market, which North America is in a seller's market right now, heavy. Right. If you are a Pop-Tart agent, which is what I call an agent that says the phone rings, is like, hey, sure, I'll open the door for you. No problem. That's a Pop-Tart agent. If you're not pre-qualifying, like, you're just wasting time. Like, you're stealing money away from yourself, right? You're spending time with somebody that has not earned your time, and without qualifying somebody properly in a seller's market, especially on the buy side, it's a mistake. But Alison, I really, it sounds to me again like you're in that transition. You're a successful agent. You're not wanting for anything. You're plowing through a ton of different homes. You've got different lead gen strategies and conversion strategies, but and I understand you have a buyer's agent that you're working with right now as well.
I do. I have an excellent buyer's agent.
Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha, exactly. Hi,
is this the Keisha that you're talking about?
It is the Keisha. Yes. So I mean, she's amazing. Like, we love to go to Costa Rica, so it's like I I go and Keisha picks everything up, and we have a beach condo, and I go and Keisha does everything. So I I really I don't complain, but I want things to work more efficiently, like you said,
Right.
Dustin. It's not where I want it to be, but I guess it's good enough,
Well, okay.
you know?
So let's talk about that because I think
Okay.
it's really, really important. This is cool. This is very cool because you're starting to hit the ceiling and you're starting to feel that burn a little bit, right? There is more potential on the other side of the glass. There are the vehicle that gets you there are systems and processes to be able to create that efficiency in your business so you can get your time back and all that kind of good stuff, right? Spend more time in Costa Rica. And it's interesting because a lot of agents that are successful agents, they get to that point, but they don't know how to take it to the next level. And because the business model that you have been running from now up until the point where you are right now, where you're trading time for dollars, you're doing the deals, you got a buyer agent to help you out when you're on vacation and things like that. That's wonderful. But the business model that got you here is not the business model that actually gets you to the next phase.
Correct.
A lot of agents, they hit this ceiling, they hit this paradigm where they have to shift how they think and how they operate in order for them to apply leverage into their business. And some of them, there's many different ways to do it.
Mhm.
This is actually a pretty risky spot for a top producer. I've seen so many top producers start losing steam and start losing love for their business and start losing their swagger, they're just like, oh God, the effing job. Like, come on. Like, I don't want to answer the phone today, or I don't want to go to work today, or I don't want to deal with this. I just want to take a couple of weeks off. You know what I mean? And anyways, it's a cool spot to get to. Everybody wants to get to your spot, 40, 50 homes a year. My God, that's badass. So many agents. Like you're in the top 10 percentile of all the agents across North America, right? And that's beautiful. Congratulations. But I know that most agents that get there, they want the next step. And the next step is pure leverage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you hit a ceiling, and Alison and I, Alison, I've been coaching Alison for quite some time, and she knows we always have this ceiling, but I mean, at what point, Alison, I guess, to kind of give, because there's a lot of people out there listening to this right now that are kind of right there in your shoes. At what point did you realize, when you talked about these few things that you're doing, at what point did you realize, hey, I want something more, I want something less? I mean, kind of tell us, or give people, I guess my question is an indication of what's actually going on in your head as far as your growth and development.
Honestly, it's the coaching that I get. Dustin, I did your challenge. Anthony, you've been my coach for years, and I know how much you despise paid leads. And just
paid leads. We talk about
I'm
leads.
sorry. Yes, yeah. The big monsters of paid leads. So I guess I just wonder if there's something else out there, and maybe that's the wrong way to say it, because I see, like, I've done the client appreciation parties and how much people enjoyed that. This year I've started monthly pop buys. So I kind of divided my clients out by, probably 20 every month. On January, I did these little mini king cakes. I went and dropped them off at their houses. February, I did a little Valentine's gift basket, like little gift bag. This month, I'm doing something for St. Patrick's Day. And Anthony, guess what I'm doing today?
What are you doing?
I'm going door knocking in my neighborhood.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
What? Dustin, you don't understand.
You don't understand. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is something that I coach up on at a high level. I'll tell you, Alison lives in a part of town called Destrehan. It's in Louisiana. It's a small community outside of like Metairie and New Orleans. Okay. It is and has been the hottest real estate market outside of New Orleans for quite some time. She lives in a neighborhood that consistently sells 50 to 80 homes a year. And guys, one thing I coach up, I talk about this in Mega Momentum, I talk about this in my one-on-one coaching, is that I call it micro geo farming, to where literally you can go sell your car tomorrow, okay? And if you own your car outright, you sell your car, okay? I'm not joking. I say you sell your car, you take the proceeds from your car, and you put it into that micro geo farm, and you'll never need a car again. I mean, literally, if you dig deep into your real estate market, dig deep, and you go about 10 block radius. We talked about this yesterday in the Mega Momentum coaching call. It's funny. Angela, she's on the call. She's like, Anthony, I love how you called me out on it.
She texted me.
Yeah. But guys, that's what it is. Right now, Allison, we talked about Instagram. I wonder who owns homes for sale. Destrehan.
Let me write that little thing down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes. And guys, this market she's in, what's the average days on market for those homes? And this is before the selling boom. Okay. This is, we're talking 3 years. This market's been like this. What's the average market? It's like hours, let's say. Because I know it's not days, right, Allison?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a good house, you have multiple offers in a 24-hour period.
Yep. And I'll tell you, there's one agent that particularly dominates this area, and she has for years. But she's done it. She's a great agent, does a lot of volume, but she has no, she has influence in society. Okay, she has social proof. You can start to chip away at that with social media to create your own social proof and your own influence, and that's something big. If you guys are not in Mega Momentum coaching, I broke this down for about an hour and 15 minutes yesterday. And we're going to break it down more and more and more, how you could dominate this market, this niche market for you. But that's awesome, Alison. You're door knocking it. Okay.
So, but what I'm doing is I'm door knocking, and I haven't made it yet, but it's just going to be a little small flyer. Hey, it's daylight savings time this weekend. Don't forget to, change your clocks back and change your batteries in your smoke detectors.
Right. Nice.
Excellent.
Kind of corny, but you know what? It's got my face, and I get to.
There's so many ideas like that when you go into a geo-targeted farm, and you know what's great about a geo-targeted farm, a niche geo-targeted farm? Your P&L. If you know you got 200 homes, okay, and you know what it costs, and if you do pop buys, whatever it may be, you could tell. Angela's laughing. You know what your cost is, guys. And that's when running a mega agent team. So I wanted to circle back a little bit, because Allison did kind of skate over this. As a mega agent, guys, we create opportunity for others. Okay. And she mentioned Keisha earlier. I know Keisha very well. I know Allison and Keisha very well. I've been coaching them for a while. And Keisha, at some point, we'll get Keisha on here to tell a story, because the amazing part about Keisha, she's had a real estate license for years. She had a job. Okay. And I think she was still working that job when she started working with you, right, Allison?
Mm-hmm.
And literally the other day she called me, because this job, she was a bus driver. She wasn't making a lot of money, guys. She wasn't, but she 7x'd her income last year. 7x. Okay. And it's because of opportunity. That's what mega agents do. So if you guys are on the fence about, like, should I go this direction? I know Allison struggles with this a little bit. She's like, do I want to build a bigger team? Do I want to go a solo agent? Do I want to do these certain things? If you look at the reason why Dustin and I are doing this, the reason why we started coaching, the reason why we're building this big, super global team is because we really do want to help other people get to their success. Yeah. And that's the opportunity that you're creating, Allison. And like I said, one thing, guys, knowing Allison so well, she don't like to brag about herself. Okay. And then it's nothing wrong with that. But I coach Allison up on that all the time. Like, look, you got to start telling people who you are, what you do. We had a great conversation last night with you and your husband, kind of specifically about this, right?
You know what, Allison? Can I ask you a couple of questions? Because your story will resonate with so many of the people that listen to this call. So right now you've been 5-6 years. So if you don't mind, I just really want to get to know you a little bit and allow other people to get to know your kind of situation. So you've been in the business 5 or 6 years. Do you still love the business?
I do.
Great. That's amazing. Are you getting a little bit weary on any of the aspects of the business, like, just selling homes every single day or selling that volume of homes? Are you thinking that there's something else or something more?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
maybe.
do you feel like you might be leaving something on the table if you don't evolve your business?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want more? Do you want more out of your business? Do
Yes.
you want more money and more free time?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And you have a buyer's agent. How long have you had a buyer's agent for?
2 years, I think. I think it's been
2
two or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with Keisha, is it Keisha? Keisha?
Keisha.
Keisha.
Keisha. Keisha. Okay.
Keisha.
So with
Yeah.
Keisha, okay. So how are you organizing your relationship with Keisha? Are you giving Keisha leads? Is Keisha taking the buyer leads off your listings? Like, how are you organizing things?
So Keisha gets leads from me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both heavy buyers agents. Both of us are.
Okay.
Neither one of us are heavy on listings. That's also something I'm working on for myself. And with our Zillow leads, we do a round robin where Zillow, one comes to me, one goes to her, one comes to me, one goes to her.
Okay. All right. And you're taking care of the overhead on that?
I am, and then she pays me a percentage.
Okay, and you're getting a percentage. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty typical. Now, why did you go down the path of mentoring somebody, of getting a buyer's agent? Because everybody has different reasons for doing it. So I'm just wondering why you decided to take somebody on.
So Keisha is a family friend, and I haven't known Keisha as long as I've known her family, and we clicked, and it makes me happy to see what she's accomplished. And my husband is a house flipper, and we actually were flipping a house in Norco, and Keisha and her husband bought their first home together. And it was one of our flip houses. So, like, it brings y'all joy to help people. It brings me joy to help people also. So, yeah.
Great opportunity. I mean, no matter where the opportunity comes, I mean, it's one thing I wanted to ask you, Alison. This is something I like how the call is kind of coming even to more of a coaching conversation. Also, is that where real estate agents, guys, and everybody needs to hear this, where I think you go wrong in your business is you think you're a real estate agent. Okay, I've had years ago Tony DeCello in a mastermind, and it might have been in Vegas, I can't remember. He said, everybody in this room, tell me what business you're in. And of course, everybody says what? No. Yeah, you're in a relationship, you're sales, you're in the business of running a business. I mean, you are a business owner. I remember who it was just the other day. Damn, who was it? I was listening to a podcast or a book, and they mentioned that from day one, they titled themselves a CEO. Day one. Yeah. Gary Keller talks about it. Gary Keller, when you lay a vision out, guys, Keller talks about day one with Keller Williams. They used to answer the phone, Keller Williams International. Mm-hmm. And literally he had 20 agents in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where, clarity equals power. A couple of notes that I put here. And guys, I mean, you got to have a clear vision and build your business. Even if you're a single agent, you're still in the business of running a business, like your P&L, balancing your P&L, maintaining cost, as you get into creating opportunity for others. Because even if you never build a team, your business is a business that can create opportunity for so many other businesses. It's something that I preached during COVID. Mm-hmm. A couple of my agents in New York, like Brooklyn, Queens, and they said, Anthony, you don't understand. We're shut down. I said, no, you're not. You can walk outside, and those business owners that are in your block, like Andre was an agent with us, and he lived in Brooklyn. And literally this guy had to the left, right, up, down, 30, 40 businesses this way, 30, 40 businesses that way. I said, man, you go walk those businesses. Hey, Bob, the bagel shop owner, man, I know your business is struggling, so is mine. How can we help each other? So you having a clearly defined, established goal, clarity equals power, when you're a business owner, and if anything, you go start helping other business owners. Okay? If you don't want to build that whole big, now, if you want to go back to the business and start generating, have buyers or agents that work for you and things like that, absolutely, it brings it so much. But that's where, guys, I tell you, the clarity is. Like, you have to be a CEO of you. And when you start with that being a CEO of you, it builds. And there's a certain swagger about it. God, I wish I could remember. I can't remember who the hell it was I heard say this the other day. It'll come to me later. And he said that. He goes, day one, I was the damn CEO. And I ain't had an employee. I barely had $100 in a bank account. And he was a CEO.
Well, that's kind of what I was asking the questions, because that clarity and that vision, it's interesting, because one of the things that Alison, you've heard me say this many times in Mega, because you took the challenge, right? And you've heard this on coaching and things like that. We have the power, and this is what a lot of agents don't actually realize, is that there's so much flexibility in this business. There's so much opportunity in real estate that we have.
Businesses. Hey, Bob.
What happened there? Oh my God. So we have so much power in this business to architect business that delivers the life that we want. We can, by the energy we put in, the systems that we focus on, the clarity that we have in our vision of where we want to end up, all those things contribute to being able to deliver the life that we want to live. And that's why I was asking, like, would you like to make more time or make more money in less time? Would you like to have more time and more money to be able to enjoy it? Because that takes a paradigm shift, a business model shift from where you are right now. And you're in a very, very amazing spot right now where you have that potential. You have momentum, you have know-how, you've got credibility in your marketplace, you've got a buyer's agent that you've been coaching and mentoring, and you are earning money together as a team. You are in actually the perfect spot to just apply a little bit more leverage to doing exactly what you're doing right now. And you're going to start seeing a huge amount of time starting to free up and more money start coming in. But it's a business model change. So it's just really interesting. And then Anthony talking about having that clarity and vision, because you can achieve whatever you want in this business. Like there's no rules, really. You know what I mean? As far as you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way.
Right.
And there's so much opportunity. A lot of people get into the business thinking, oh, I got to sell homes and that's how I'm going to make my income. But if you start looking at it as a business, like, it's a cornucopia of opportunity.
You quickly realize, if you guys, I'll tell you, it's something I learned with being in coaching from day one, is that they would look at my P&L. And you will quickly learn what you're doing wrong and right if you analyze and pay attention to your P&L, and that allows for leverage. I mean, guys, the biggest part about this, it's like what they talk about, leads, listings, leverage. The moment we skip that listing piece in the leverage part, it does create a lot of interesting conflict. Yeah. And as real estate agents, we do it. I see it all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a lot of people look at Alison. Allison doesn't take a lot of listings, and yet she's doing, 40, 50 deals a year. I mean, people would kill for that, So it's definitely, you can create opportunity anywhere. I think there's just a smarter balance that you can run into, and creating that leverage, all said and done, it could be amazing for you and your business.
It's actually pretty easy, but it does take a little bit of a shift in mindset and some skill, just building some new skills. Like you built a lot of skill being able to become a really good agent. And you're you're a top 10%. There's only 10% of realtors in North America that make over $100,000 a year. And I guarantee that you're
exactly. Well, Alison, talk about, I know you're implementing, and I think something that I want to talk about, because it's been a reoccurring theme for us, is if you guys listen to Darren James, you listen to Aaron Rawls, you can listen to what Alison's her transition. She's going from paid leads to now seeing that she needs to do what? Create raving fans. So maybe, Alison, give somebody, because there's a lot of people who are transitioning like this, right? There's a lot of people who are paying for leads and they want to transition. They're seeing the value and they're seeing this relationship. I mean, what are the steps or the things you're kind of putting into place? Like you said, you're doing the geo farming, you're doing some things. Maybe tell us about that transition that's actually taking place in you and your business. Because I believe a lot of agents are going to be making this type of transition shortly. I really do.
I think they have to.
Yep.
Right. So it took some eye opening to realize, you know, that the ugly giant was going to be taking some different market share, probably sooner than later, in our markets. So, there's so much content on the internet of great little pop buys that you can do for your clients. And what a pop buy is, in case you don't know, is you're literally just popping by a client's and dropping something off to them.
Nice.
Whether you see them face to face or you drop something off at their door, because sometimes they're home, sometimes they're not, just with just a little something, right? So I've been trying to do it around whatever that is that month. You got St. Patrick's Day this month. You got daylight savings time. I bought a calendar, and it's all the crazy days of the month, like national. Let's see, what's today's date? Today is the 11th.
Yep.
Today is National Dream Day.
Nice.
Okay, so in like on the 15th is National Peanut Lovers Day. So and all that you can find online also, right? You can just put in today is National what day. Okay.
Right.
So you drop off a jar of peanut butter, or you drop off a bag of peanuts, but you kind of like make it fun and kind of cute.
Really
Like I am the agent. I'm not the agent, and forgive me if anybody is. I'm not the agent that goes in a suit and very prim and proper.
like this.
Yeah, like you, Anthony. But like this is like I'll wear a shirt like this.
Yep.
I'm all about graphic tees and like be kind shirts and hair in a ponytail sometimes. But like I'm the corny, I want you to laugh. I'm all about spreading joy and kind of thing, like free love, hippie, not hippie, but yeah. But and then what I'm seeing more and more is, so I do have a Facebook page just for my past clients that is called VIP, You Are Special.
Talk about that real quick, Alice. I'm glad you went that route because I know we had this conversation. I want you to talk about that a little bit more because no one's brought that up yet.
Yeah. So I have like I said, a page that's called VIP, You Are Special. The only people that are on there are my past clients. I don't post about a house listing. I don't post, hey, I'm your favorite realtor. I don't post anything like that. I post like maybe on the 15th I might post hey, send me a picture of you eating a peanut butter, or I might put me like with peanut butter on my face or something and send me a silly post, and whoever sends the pictures get a drawing for I don't know, whatever. Like I've done drawings of share my business page, and I'll pick a winner for a crawfish table. And Dustin, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a round table that's got a hole in the middle for a garbage can. We eat these bugs that come out of the ground and we boil them, and with like all kind of vegetables and sausage.
Then you suck the head. That's like,
right, you suck the head and the juice, yeah. Anyway, and like, yeah, exactly. But then, like, people will share your business page. You got to like, share, and post. You've seen that kind of stuff on Facebook. And then they'll put like, oh, I have the greatest realtor, Alison Andrews. Look what I just won. Or like for back to school, I'll put, tag your favorite teacher. And there will be a drawing that get a $50. I'll pick 2 teachers. You'll get a $50 Walmart gift card to buy supplies for your school, your classroom. Because honestly, teachers don't get enough support for their classrooms. They end up having to pay out of their pocket. So just anything. I think Keisha was telling me, Anthony, one of your agents in North Louisiana, was partnering, and I love this idea, was partnering with a donut shop.
Jennifer
and yeah, and she did some type of video with a leprechaun or something that for St. Patrick's Day, that if you mention this video at Donut Land, you get a free donut on me between this time and this time, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, that's a great idea.
She's actually going to be walking in. We're going to go meet with a couple of agents. Jennifer's picking me up in about 15 minutes. So definitely talk about it. But I'll tell you, that's what. So Ashley Carpenter, if you guys know her team, the Bold Group, is based out of Shreveport, Louisiana. They do this at a crazy level. You want to see some really interesting marketing at a high level for a mega producing team, go follow Ashley Carpenter on Facebook and look at the Bold Group. Yeah, they do some wild stuff. It's stuff like that. Like one thing we've done for years is going to a coffee shop. And literally you go sit in that coffee shop, and the first 10, 20, 30 people who walk in, you buy their coffee for them. And then when they say, oh, then you tell the cashier, hey, when they say, hey, why with this guy over here, and you got your real estate swag kind of going all over. It's things like that, creating Raven fans, doing fun stuff for you people. One thing I wanted to mention, Alison, I don't know if we talked about this, is gamify your clients against each other. So what we used to do is a scavenger hunt. It would say the most clients who can take a picture of themselves in front of our signs and send it to them. Now, they had to post to Facebook. They had to literally go on Facebook and post all the pictures of them sitting by my sign. I'd have people do 20 signs and take pictures of these suckers, and I'd do like a $50 gift card to a movie theater or a $50 $10 Starbucks card. You gamify, and they're promoting you and your business. It's fun. I used to have billboards. That was the funnest one. Is I take a selfie with my billboard in the background. Everybody who did it, I essentially gave them like a $5 Starbucks gift card. Look, it's advertising. It's back to that basis of you building raving fans and then creating social proof. And that, dude, I'm gonna tell you, Alison, I don't know if we talked about that, but I know I learned from another agent that private Facebook group is epic. And then, guys, if you don't have a private Facebook group for your past clients, get one started now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's amazing, the communication and everything. And you can say, hey guys, look, if you know anybody moving to this location, please let us know. And when that group, like I used to do this when I had my mega team running, we had like 800 people in this group. It's like funny you say that because I have the Dezette Group VIP in my group back then. And I have a ton of people inside of there. It's something, a really amazing tool, and you communicate with everybody. Yeah. That's awesome, Alison. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a brilliant move. I love it. One of the things that I love to teach agents to do is build out a Facebook group in a local community, especially if you're in a geo niche. A lot of communities don't actually have a Facebook group, right? So if you're seen as that leader, that superhero, that highly visible individual as a realtor in a community, and there's no community group, build one around you. Build one, man.
Like, people
and talk to the coaches and the sports teams and celebrate their wins, and like,
wow.
You create that community around you, and you are that thought leader. You are that community leader. Like, I love the past client, but if let's say you're a realtor and you've only got 5 past clients, like, I don't want to start a Facebook group and there's only 3 people in it, well, all you got to do is create a Facebook group around the niche market or the demographic or the geo that you're looking to target. You can do the same thing. Just think outside of the box. Like, how might you actually do some of these great strategies instead of saying, oh, I don't have enough of this, or I don't know about this. Like, think about how might you do it? How might you actually achieve that? Because these strategies, like guys, I hope you're listening. I really hope you're listening to what Alison's saying. She's dropped so many nuggets on the things that she does. And she just offhandedly oh yeah, I do this. And oh yeah, I do this. But think about, add all that stuff up, add it all up together. All that consistent application of energy and it's all related. What I'm hearing is except for the Zillow leads, I'm hearing relationships. I'm hearing you're building out your sphere, that you're really targeting that market and applying that energy. And I hope you guys are listening, because if you stack all that stuff together, it's powerful. You become an incredibly well-known, highly visible, full of authority agent in a target market. You're a walking billboard. You know, you go into a coffee shop and you buy 30 people coffees like that. People talk about that stuff. That whole neighborhood be buzzing with that for days. Crazy. That's crazy cool stuff.
It is, and it's compounding. I talk about like putting together a plan, and I mentioned this in the coaching group, and it's compounding clients. You know, they say what's the big? I think it's Newton's law with compounding interest. And guys, if you start compounding clients and you take care of those clients and continually touch them, it's insane. You know what can be accomplished, and you know it's just like money. If you put $2,000 into a bank account and you're drawing 7% interest, and you wake up in 20 years, that money is substantially more. It's the same thing with clients, but we don't do that. I mean, one thing I've learned, got coaching the business all the time, and you know it's really interesting. This is something that's I wouldn't say it's a little bit controversial, but people take it the long way. Have you guys ever heard the term orphan clients? So who's ever been to a closing where they had the buyer or the seller? Okay. So what happened a few times for me, I sold a house in Baton Rouge, Louisiana 4 times because of this method. Okay, 4 times. Essentially, I sold it once. The buyers bought it. Okay. Most real estate agents do not keep up with their clients. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would just like say, you know, at some point it was an orphan client where those agents didn't keep up with them. These people would reach out to me and be, hey, Anthony, you know what? You were the agent. Can you sell the house for me? And we did that multiple times because, guys, most of your competition, like I said, it's people could think it's a little controversial, but it works. Most agents do not keep up with their clients at all. I mean, Alison, you prime example, probably for the first couple of years of your business, you weren't following this model. And now you're seeing, and literally you can come in behind people and say, hey, I'm an agent. If I could help you, let me know. Like literally the way this happened for me is because I was door knocking a specific neighborhood. Okay. And just like it was a geo-targeted niche form for me, I sold a bunch of homes there. I would knock on that door of the home I sold. Oh, hey, Anthony. Yeah, you sold. I said, hey, how's things going? Blah, blah, blah. And guess who they called when they were ready to sell? I didn't specifically target them because I was like, you know, going after that person. But I mean, if it's my niche, my neighborhood, you know, I mean, how many homes in Destrehan, Alison, or did you not sell? Think about that. You can go door knock those people. They may have an agent. If you got an agent, great. Hey, my sister's my agent. Okay, great. But if that agent who they barely knew or doesn't keep in touch with them, you can instantly become that agent for them for life. And that's what this is about, guys, building clients for life. Because that client, that person, you know, statistically speaking, every person in your database knows at least 2 people buying, selling, or investing in real estate a year.
Yep.
Do the math on that. And then when you do the math on that, pay attention how much money you're leaving on the table.
Yeah, that'll motivate you. So Diana Martin was asking, is this live? So Diana, yes, and everybody, you can just follow us on the YouTube channel. Just go over to YouTube, search up Mega Momentum, and you'll see us there. Follow us on the channel. You can follow us on the Facebook. We broadcast this to a number of different places, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Our coaching is actually on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So if you're interested in that, we'll pop the link in there so that you can grab some coaching and level up your game. Alison, I do have a question for you. You're getting into the relationship marketing side of things. Like it sounds like you're doing a lot of the right things, and you keep on applying that consistency, man. You're gonna just it's gonna be a lot of fun for you as you transition your business model over the next couple of years. What's your favorite? What's your favorite relationship marketing technique that has been the highest return? That's given you the highest return?
Probably the Popeyes. And the reason why is I get to use my creativity. Like I like creating those things. You know, it just.
Why is that? 'Cause I mean, that is a huge difference. I mean, why do you think, Alison?
I don't know. It's just it's something someone's not expecting.
Yeah.
It's like I like it even better when they're not home. Because when they get home, there is a surprise for them. Because, you know, usually someone gets home, they open up their mailbox. What's in there? Junk mail and bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now on their doorstep is a nice little surprise from their favorite realtor. Okay. Like I even had a client of mine, she captured me on her Ring doorbell, and before she got home, she sent me a message. She's like, "What did you put on my doorstep?"
That's funny.
And I said, "Just wait until you get home."
Right.
And she's got 2 kids. So I knew she had 2 kids, so I put 2 of everything in there. And it's just it's fun, and it makes them happy. And I have one client that just found out she's pregnant, and so I plan on, put something in there for the baby to be. And it allows me to just bring happiness.
You're creating that friendship and reinforcing that relationship. And I'll tell you guys,
Right.
where real estate can be a very lonely sport. You always feel like you're getting beat up. I remember asking my coach years ago, at what point does someone just call me up and say, "Hey, Anthony, I want to sell my home"? And she goes, as long
Keisha and I both just said that the other day.
It's true though. And she goes, the moment you stop making cold calls or you stop work. And it's so true. It's like, I've always been a big prospecting based marketing and enhanced agent. I used to make a lot of phone calls back in the day. And it's true. Even those people, as great as prospecting is, you still get beat up. They don't know who the hell you are. They don't like you. You're the 400th person that's called them this month, and if you I have agents that succeed at a crazy high level that have never used one internet lead or made a phone call in their business ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Alison, I really love what you're doing there. I love it so much. There's people do you know why emails don't work anymore for marketing? Because they're easy. It takes 2 seconds to send off an email. The reason why this is starting to work for you is because, one, you get to put your personal touch on it. So you get to personalize it, right? And that takes time. And when you need to take time to apply to something, people appreciate that because time is the most valuable asset that we have. So if you're willing to spend time thinking about a client and taking the next step and going the extra mile, personalizing that pop buy for them, now you've not just thought about them, spent the time to put it together, but actually personalized it so that they don't feel like just another person that you're doing a pop buy for. That's the sweet spot right there. That's the reason why you're going to get a really, really sweet return on that particular activity. And you get to get the creative flow and things like that going as well, right? But that is how you make pop buys incredibly effective. The pop buys that are less effective are the ones that are just generic and say, "Hey, Dustin Pritchard, Homes and City, here's my business card attached to a candy cane," or something like that, and then you're boom. It's not going to do anything.
Right.
It's not really going to do anything because you can go out there and hand out 1,000 of those in a day, and they know that. But if they know that you spent time thinking about them, a human to a human, and you spent the time to put it together, and you personalized it, hook, line, and sinker. Like they're locked in. They're like, "Wow, this person really cares." And it's true. You do care because you literally wouldn't be doing that if you didn't care. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. I love it.
It's B2B. Belly to belly is the way. It's funny you mentioned email because when Alison, we were waiting for her bio for the call, I said, "Alison, I didn't get it." She goes, "I sent it to you." I'm like, "No, you didn't. There's no way." She goes, "I emailed it." I'm like, "Email? What the hell is that?" Like literally, guys, I don't use email. I do not use email. I'll tell you, and it's something I learned a long time ago from one of my brokers, which is and we'll talk about this maybe later in the coaching everything. But I've seen my agents do it for years. They write out these dissertations, 3, 4, 5 paragraph emails, telling that potential buyer how cool and great they are, and they never answer. I literally don't. I mean, when Alison said that, I'm like, she laughed. She goes, "I know, right?" I'm like, "I don't use email."
Oh my God. Don't do that. Here's a pro tip for you. You know what this is? It's your movie studio. That's what it is, right? So don't email. "Hey, how you doing? It's Dustin. I just want to let you know that I had a really fantastic time working with you on your new home. Congratulations, guys. You guys really, really deserve this awesome, awesome property. I can't wait to have a glass of wine in the backyard with you to celebrate. I just wanted to send you this note to say congrats. Have a fantastic day."
How easy is that?
And that was a video, Dustin?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Well, audio. I mean, look, I think audio is better than. People on Instagram are hitting me up now where they're not sending anything. They're sending like an audio. "Hey, Anthony, look, I love what you're doing. Really appreciate it. If I can ever help you in business, let me know." Boom, send, gone. 10 seconds.
I live down in Mexico like most of the time now, right? So I'm like, I noticed all the locals here. They pick up the phone, they talk on the phone, they put it down. They're not talking to anybody. They're sending a voice message, and it's through WhatsApp, or they're doing it through social media. They're just like Facebook Messenger. Just hit the record button, saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah 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 blah, and that's all they do. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's crazy, but that is so powerful to have the forethought, think about it, personalize it, talk to them, and just say, hey, just thought I'd send you a message, say, really loved working with you. Like, there's so much more impactful, and it'll save you some money on closing gifts.
Right. So good stuff, Alison. Well, look, this has been an amazing call with you. So excited to be in business with you. Look, everybody, Alison, tell everybody how they can reach out to you, because you've had some amazing tips. I think some people would absolutely love about your VIP Facebook group. How can they reach out to you and talk about that?
Let's see, old-fashioned way, the regular phone, 504-756-3549. That's my cell. Facebook, Alison Andrews, or it would be, Alison Tujak Andrews.
Tujak,
yeah. Name there. And then Instagram, Alison Andrews Realtor.
And we got so Alison is perfecting her Instagram game too. She went through our coaching call, and I love. Yes. I think she's gonna be tired of being used as an example for me, because I've used her like on 3 different sessions now. So she wants to step up her Instagram game, guys. So you better be ready.
I am your guinea pig, Anthony. Hey, everything.
Safe space, but we're going to work.
Well, you know what? It benefits me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But throw me underneath the bus. It just builds me right back up, inflate me back up. And
leaders can handle that. And that's the difference. I tell you guys, I've had there's another book. I can't think of it. But it talks about the victim mentality. And there's this cycle of victim and successor. And it does. Look, leaders can be beat up and torn down. And John Maxwell talks about it time and time again. Yeah. And if you can handle that, you're in the right room with the right people right now. And the people that can't, look, it's okay. It's great. That's your thing. Do your thing. But, that conversation we had last night, I'm a very direct shooter. I'm going to tell you, and I expect the same thing. Alison's done the same thing for me. Alison has called me out more than most people have in my life. Okay. Because she knows my flaws. I know her flaws. We've been working together for quite some time. And I love that part. It's a mutual agreement where we just help each other really succeed. And it's been amazing.
That's
love
cool.
That guy.
Yeah. But you got to get yourself into those groups, surround yourself with the right kind of people, because everything that you want is outside of your box.
Absolutely.
Outside of your comfort zone. Everything that you want that's more than what you got right now, it's outside.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't realize, I was talking about this the other day, most people don't realize, like, oh, I have this dream, I want this nice lifestyle and everything else. Like, wonderful. So you want this lifestyle, but you're not willing to go through the change, or you're not wanting or realizing that lifestyle requires some personal change, some evolution, some evolving. So it's kind of interesting, because all that stuff that you want, it requires you to go through that breakdown and build up kind of process.
Oh, without a doubt.
Psychology of words, and what I learned years ago: want equals lack. And if you really break that down and think about, when you tell people you want things, it's because you're lacking in your life. You got to change the way you say things, what you put out there to the universe, because it does listen. It's a really
I agree.
I can tell you time and time again, guys, where I've started doing certain things and something happened in relation which had nothing to do with what I was doing, but it was just those actions and that feeling and the way I used the words and that positive energy just created some really interesting returns. But yeah, want equals lack. I'll tell you, look that one up. It's huge.
That is huge. That is huge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Alison, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. You are right in the middle of the sweet spot in your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're rolling, man. Like, you could literally light a fire and just leverage yourself into more income, and all leveraged, actually. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to some conversations with you in the coaching and all that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Anthony, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Mega Mornings. We do this Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sign up for the coaching. We're having a blast. We're kicking ass on Instagram. We're doing that for the next couple of weeks. Business building focused. Join in. Let's have some fun. Make money. All right. Ciao for now. We'll see you on the flip side.